guys, how are you all doing today? Welcome back to my channel once again. If you don't know who I am, my name is Chinyere, and this is my channel, juliettsstyleglam. And for those of you who are already subscribed to my channel, thank you so much for being here. Today, well, first of all, before we go on, okay, please, I need you all to give a round of applause for me and this hair, because the struggle is real. You see the struggle with this hair? It is real. Most times when I get, anyway, let's forget about it. But Sha, you should be thanking God for me. Anyway. All right. So today's topic, we're going to be talking about women. And what raises is, I'm talking about women and us being a better version of ourselves, you know. And not just because you are looking for a man, not just because you're hoping to settle down or you're looking for that next level relationship, but because you need to do it for you. Okay? Now, I took my cue as well. I have a similar video which I'm going to put in this video. I'm going to refer you guys a similar video where I did, how to get Mr. Right, or how to know Mr. Right. So something similar, but you know, I got this inspiration actually from Nicole Ari Parker, Boris Kodjoe's wife. Yay! I mean, I love her. She is the most beautiful human being I've ever seen. She is amazing. And the thing about her is you will never know she's funny. And she is hilarious. So I took my cue from her, her letter to God, you know, for her husband. And, you know, it sounded, you know, anyone reading that letter would be like, you know, oh, it's funny, you know. But then she was serious at the same time, you know. And most times, you know, and a lot of people, and she talks about manifesting, you know, which I agree, I totally agree with, manifesting that which you want, you know. And one of the ways, of course, you know, it's to manifest, you write it down, think it, you know, work on it, you know. So in the same vein, I want to use, you know, her letter to God to talk about today. Because at the end of the day, you know, I just feel that so many of us women, we are focused on the wrong things. Many of us are focused on marriage, relationships, you know, we're so focused on so many things that we forget the most important thing, and that's us. So I want to talk us through those things that we're looking for. And another reason I'm doing this video is because I also have, I won't talk about it here, but something struck me when I heard someone say it. And I decided to, you know, use this also as a pointer for this video. So in the first number one, okay, so I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6 things we need to do, or we need to work on ourselves as women, okay? Now, my first and foremost will be always, never settle for less than what you deserve. Now, you know, most people will say, but that's about a man. It's not just a man. Even your person, your desire, whatever it is, the things you desire, the things you want, the things you want to achieve, your ambition, you know, if it is in your office, where you work, or in your business, whatever it is, you know, when you know that you want to be here, I mean, you set usually, you know, there's something that we are taught in Africa, I can't even remember the proverb, but when you know you want to be here, you put your sights here, so that by the time you get here, you're like, okay, you know, it's like you are, you know, you are, how do I put it? It's like you are setting yourself up, you know, for that thing that you deserve. You are putting yourself on that place, not any other person, you, Okay? So do not settle for less than what you deserve in whatever thing you're doing, even in a relationship. Okay? Don't settle for less than what you deserve. In your job, in your salary, whatever it is that you're doing, work on it because you deserve it, because you know you deserve it. That's number one. Number two, self-care. Now, normally I would have put self-care number one, but I also realized that a lot of us do a lot of things without understanding that self-care is absolutely necessary. So that's why I put it at number two. Normally I should have put it at number one, but I put it at number two just for that, because most times we all go out trying to achieve, trying to do this, trying to do that, but we always forget self-care. Now, self-care comes in so many ways for so many people. So I'm not going to sit down here and talk to you about weight loss, dieting. Now, I'm not going to do that, because everyone has their own mode of self-care. Self-care is a journey to self. Self-care is what you need to do to be the best version of yourself. That is self-care. So some people choose, workouts, exercise, dieting, like myself. Other people will choose, having me time. Some people will talk about doing the spa. Some people it's reading books. Everyone's version of self-care is different. And one thing about self-care is it's about what you love. This is your me moment. This is what your guilty pleasure is. What is your guilty pleasure? And indulge in it. And something that you do and you make yourself happy doing it. It's not about any other person's happiness. It's about you. It's about your mental health. It's about your physical health. It's about your space. It's about your aura. It's about your zen. That is what self-care is. And that is what you need to find out. And every woman out there, I implore you to do that, because at the end of the day, there are so many things we've been wired as women to believe and to be, which it's not a written law and it's not necessary. Okay? And I keep on saying, stuff like this. If, we are in a world that is so advanced today. I recall then in Nigeria, I had a friend who was in the UK at the time, and she talked about, I think said the guy who wanted to marry her came, and the father was like that she could not cook, and of course the girl knew that she couldn't cook. I mean, this is somebody that her father is like a chief. It's not even like a chief. The guy is a chief. The guy cannot cook. So the father was very upfront to the guy and said, listen, no, my baby girl cannot cook. I don't know what, You see that concept. So for us and for everyone listening, even for the dad, the fact that my daughter cannot cook should, does that make her unmarriable? Does that make her someone who cannot, hold down a home? Does that make her? So you see, you have to find different things. And some of these things are, learned habits that have been put in place, okay, by certain factors to their benefit. And we are in a situation where we are unlearning, okay, about those things. All right? So again, back to number two, self-care is, it is extremely important. Now, number three, be gentle, be kind, be approachable but firm. Be gentle, be kind, be approachable but firm. Now, we get a lot of things, or we hear a lot of people talk about, character, attitudes, being rude, polite, and stuff like that. And I think that these things are what are basic, in my opinion, they are basic, tenets of life of a human being. To be kind, to be gentle, having empathy. I think it's what makes us actually beautiful. It's not about all of this. It has nothing to do with all of this, but it has a lot to do with this. Because I don't think anybody, is going to be comfortable staying with someone who's annoying or rude or horrible or doesn't have a kind bone in their body or lacks empathy. I mean, let's not start naming names. We know what happened in the US, in the last presidential election. You know, it's I think this is a natural course. And if you find yourself as a person, I think we as human beings, we need to always have this self-reflection of always asking those questions. Am I this or am I not? Am I that, or or what do I want to do better, or do I need to, or don't I need to? And this one comes also under working on yourself. So be gentle, be kind, and approachable, but be firm. And being firm has a lot with saying no. Yes, being firm has a lot to do with saying no. Do not allow yourself to be a people pleaser. I learned that the hard way, and I learned it quickly, thankfully, because, growing up in Nigeria, and being, could you, and every time you always want to say, just because you don't want to say no. Saying no is not a bad thing. Being able to say no, it doesn't make you a bad person. It's just you are telling whoever it is and yourself that this, I can't do it. And one of the ways I learned to say no was there any way to learn how to say no? No. Sometimes, for example, if someone asks me, can you do something? I'll tell you, no, I can't. When I find out the person, you're still moving on and you're trying to convince me to do something I'd already told you I don't want to do. And one of the things I say to this person is, there is really no use you trying to convince me to do otherwise. I have already said what I want to say. And why I said no is because I won't be able to deliver. If I can deliver, I will say yes. That is how I actually put it. What I know I can do, I will say yes to it. I will do it. But when I know I can't, there is no need. That's it. So it's about, the picking up yourself and speaking to yourself and telling yourself, this no, I'm going to say it. We have to say it. So there is, for me, I have no lesson on saying no than just saying no. Okay? It's not a bad word, and it's not a bad thing either. We've talked about self-care, season 3. Now, number 4 is women. Put an effort into looking good. It's not about expensive things. It's not about going all out and shopping like a maniac. No. But you have to put an effort into looking good. Your personality, everything about you. Most times, part of what is read about you as a person starts from what you're wearing, or how you're wearing, or how you look, or how you're dressed. Okay? So at the end of the day, it will always, always, always be lovely, when you as women, we put that effort into looking good. Do not, I will keep on saying, especially moms who are married and have kids like us. There is this thing about guilt tripping ourselves into not buying stuff because, one thing is happening, or, the children or the husband or something, or, you're thinking about 1,000,001 people at once. There is also this thing about not doing certain things. Even if you want to go to the spa, you don't want to go to the spa. It's not like I love going to the spa. I love going to the spa, And truthfully, I don't like before I go to the spa, I do not like having any form of negativity or negative thoughts or anything worrying me before going there. I always, always want to be, that kind of a thing. So, there is a need for you to put an effort into looking good for yourself. Initially, I recall when I got married to my husband, all the time, when I wear certain things, he'd be like, but you can't wear this. I'm like, hey. Initially I was, because my husband is not the compliment giving type, so I got used to it. So when he started doing, when he started with the, no, I don't like wearing, I'm like, hey, uncle, What's wrong with you? I'm not wearing it for you, you know. And he didn't get it. He didn't understand it. But when it happened about two, three, a lot of time, I'm like, listen, I've told you so many times, I'm not dressing up for you. I'm dressing up for me. I'm looking good for me. It's for me. If you appreciate it, fine. If you don't appreciate it, no. I mean, there's no problem. The wall of Jericho fell down. It was meant to fall, So it's about doing it for you. It's not about the vast majority. It's not about, because in truth, initially, I used to dress up thinking I was pleasing him. I enjoyed it. I enjoy it. And I'd like to look good, hoping that he would always be like, oh, you look good. Mm-mm. But when I see him and I'm like, oh, you look good today, but for him, it's not necessary. So when I understood that, I was like, okay, so, I then, because it's what I love to do. And then when it began to, seem like I'm like, I know, no, I'm doing it for myself. I'm not doing it for you. All right. Now, number 5. We talked about 6. I hope I'm not missing one. 1, 2, 3. Okay, yes, number 5, not number 6. Number 5. Be willing to improve and invest in yourself. Now, this particular one, I cannot buttress it so well. Be willing to improve and invest in yourself as a woman. I watched a movie some time ago called Boundaries. It's a Nigerian movie I watched. And it was about a mother-in-law who came into her son's home and was making life unbearable for the wife. Now, her biggest issue with the wife or her daughter-in-law was that her daughter-in-law had a wonderful business, a successful business she was running, and not just one, multiple. For the mother-in-law, it was too much for her to bear. And she said she needed the girl to stay in the house. Sit your house. Sit there in your husband's house. Take care of your house. Born children for your husband. And the girl said, no, Mama, I don't want to do that. And then she went and met the husband. The husband told his mom and said, no, my wife isn't going to do that. She has a right to, work and do it. I'm not against her doing that. Now, at the end of this movie, suffice to say that we eventually knew and found out the reason why the mother-in-law was so horrible to her daughter-in-law. Because what her daughter-in-law was what she wished for herself. She wanted to go to school. She wanted to be so much. She wanted to be lots of things. But she said her dad killed her dreams. So this happens a lot to us. Usually after kids or, once life happens, But I would tell you and I would say to you here, remember, look for that place where you were happy. Think back to those things you wanted to be or wanted to do and go back to it. I have another story for this. Before I did my master's program, my MBA, it was something I had put at the forefront, And at the end of the day, I could not continue my MBA. I kind of put it in the back burner. I started working. I had my son. A lot of things were happening at that time. And then one day, my husband, and that's one thing I'm so thankful to him for. And we're just talking, and one day, my husband said, have you forgotten that you actually, want to do your MBA? Because I had thrown it to the back burner. And I was like, yeah, that's true. And then I began the race for my MBA again. I mean, something I had begun how many years ago? Just totally left it. And then, boom, back. And then, I was like, the question I kept asking myself all the time was, how did I miss this? How did I leave this? How did I forget this? Life happens. So it's always important to always improve yourself. invest in yourself. You want to teach, you want to learn photography, do it. You want to learn a craft, do it. You want to go into another profession, do it. Whatever it is you want to do, as a woman, you owe it to yourself to always, always want to improve yourself, even in the smallest way. Whatever it is, just in the smallest ways. It could be a course of 3 months. It could be a 1 month. It could be 2 weeks, whatever it is. But just keep on working to improve yourself anytime you have the chance. It will pay you in the long run. And lastly, know what you want. Know what you want. You have to know what you want for yourself in life. As an individual, name it, but know what you want. It's not easy, because I recall there was a time we had a workshop, and a friend of mine said that right from when she was in school, she always knew she wanted to be a pastor. She always knew she wanted to, and I was like, wow. I mean, that young as a teenager, she already knew what she wanted to do. She already knew where the direction she was going. At that time, I'm not sure I remember what it was, but then, I mean, that's being you're a teenager, so one may say, yes, it's normal. But, it's important that while we are, in our growth and in our evolution and in our, in everything that we do, it is very important that we know what we want, because it gives clarity, it helps, it opens your, it gives you room to open and see the horizon, see where you want to be, see where you are going to in 5, 10 years. You already know. So, these are the 6 points I have for you, for us women, on how to improve ourselves, on how to make ourselves the best version of ourselves. If you know any more pointers, please do not fail to put it in the comment section, and I would love to read them and know more, because I think that some of these things we don't talk about it enough, especially for us women. So, if you have more pointers, let us know. Share it in the comment section below. Do not fail to like, share, subscribe, and leave your comments in the comment section of this video. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.